Why do we target giant trevally? Well, where do I start? The explosive nature that these fish have is just second to none. There's no fish that comes close to matching the excitement level of a giant trevally. Our main motivation for wanting to set tag GTs is that we haven't really got much information back from the traditional spaghetti tags in the past, other than some growth changes. You know, the information that we can collect from a satellite tag will give us far more insight into where the fish has been and what he's been up to. And that's something that we really want to educate ourselves on. We have people coming from all over the world to fish with us, flying into Australia just to chase the giant trevally. So it's imperative that we find out as much information about this species as we can, so that we can continue to target this fish sustainably and just make sure that the methods that we're using to target this fish don't impact its survival post-capture. So we're really looking forward to some of that information coming back. Obviously the satellite tags are not the cheapest tags around, so we do need support from different organisations, and we want to thank Tourism Australia for supporting us in the Signature Fishing Experiences of Australia, which is a program that we're a part of. And we just wouldn't be able to do this without your guys' support for these tags. So the tags we're using are a mini PSAT tag. It's traditionally used on fish. They have a sacrificial anode which releases the tag at a disclosed period of around sort of 3 to 6 months, which then it pops up and transmits most of the information. There's a lot of data on the tag, which we're going to be working closely with some local universities to decipher the information and find out more about the fish's behaviour over the last 3 to 6 months, getting depth, temperature, light. So it'll tell us a lot more and give us a lot more insight into where the fish has been and what he's been up to. We're using the Northern Great Barrier Reef as our target location. A lot of the other pelagic species are migrating south, and we just wanted to see if that was consistent with the giant trevally as well. This initial program, we've been given funding for 2 satellite tags. We hope that in the future that we can deploy more tags at different parts of the reef to see if the fish in the northern section of the reef are behaving the same way as the fish in the southern Great Barrier Reef and the central Great Barrier Reef. It'll really give us some insight into where the fish are moving up and down the coast and are staying within the Great Barrier Reef, or if they're migrating and moving somewhere else. I think it's important that we do focus a lot of our attention on species like the giant trevally for a number of reasons. Instead of focusing research on endangered species and species that are regarded as really good eating quality fish, we can take the pressure off some of those fish by continuing that research, but also researching fish that might be high on a sport fishing level and on a level that do survive well and do release well, and focusing our attention on finding out more about them and putting those fish more in the spotlight for travelling sport fishermen to come over to Australia to target, and to make sure that the methods that we are fishing for these fish is sustainable, so they can be promoted, and it just has a lot, the sport has a lot more longevity to it. Well, I tell you what, when that tag went in that first GT, it was pretty exciting. The anticipation to get the information back is really high. We're really excited to gather that data and to see that fish swim off healthy and strong was really exciting. It's a moment that I've been waiting for a long time. The key thing for us to understand is the economic value of this fish to Australia from a tourism perspective predominantly. It has no commercial value. It's not considered high as a table fish. But we have people coming from all over the world to target these explosive fish, and they're in abundance on the Great Barrier Reef, and we just want to thank Tourism Australia for the opportunity to get involved in a sustainable tagging program to learn more about these fish that are resilient to being caught and released on topwater, and just to find out more about things that we could do to target and catch these fish safely and sustainably long term in the future.